Welcome to part 4 of Thief the Dark Project, and another cutscene which introduces us to one of the game's factions. These are the Keepers, who are kind of a cross between librarians and spies, but we'll see more of them later. They're the group that Garrett used to be a member of before he went freelance and became a thief, because Garrett's all about working for himself, as this mission will show.
I had some money to spare after disposing of the horn, so it seemed time to invest in some new tools. Farkas is one of the few merchants willing to risk selling to an independent like me, and his prices are steep. But the other choice is to let one of the so-called city wardens give me orders, and take a cut of my profits. They've been after me for years to join one of their stables, but I'm not interested. Maybe they'll get the idea and give up. More likely, they'll just ramp up the threats. Nothing I can't handle if I'm careful. And lucky. And my luck seems to have finally turned for the better.
This mission, like Break from Crag's Cleft Prison, is going to mess with us a little bit. At the start, our objective is to loot a hammer temple for at least 1,000 gold. And before we do that, we have to meet with Garrett's fence and friend Farkas. So, here's Farkas, and here's where everything changes.
Meant for me.
Yes, I'm sure it was Garrett in the window. He's dead. Let's head back now.
These creeps are gonna lead me right back to whoever sent them to kill me, but only if I can tail them without them noticing me.
So there they go through the city streets, and our objectives have changed. Now we have to trail these jerks and try to figure out who hired them to kill me. The first 3 levels of Thief are showing off the variety of the game, and this 4th level returns to something it's done before. It's kind of a mirror of the Bafford's Manor level, the opening level, where you start out in the city streets and then go indoors, but the city streets portion has been expanded. You get to see a lot more of the city and its architecture. You get to see more of those electric lights, more of these German-style buildings. More civilians who don't really care about you. But the thugs, if you catch up to them, if you get too close, they'll see you and it's mission over. But also, if you fall too far back, you'll lose them, and again, mission over. So you have to be pretty careful. Those electric lights with those glowing orbs above them, I've no idea what they're actually powered by, but we'll see that they're kind of a new thing. The nicer parts of the city have them, but then we'll also see other parts of the city where they still have burning torches on the wall. They're obviously a new thing. The city's going through some technological upheaval, its own little renaissance, and that's all communicated through the level design. Lots of stopping and starting, lots of moving from shadow to shadow. I'm pretty sure the path these guys follows actually changes if you replay this level. It's unpredictable, so you can't just memorize where they walked and then beat them to their destination. You have to actually follow them in case they take a different path. There's an element of randomness to it.
I feel like we're being followed. Don't see anything now.
There's a little bit of metal that we heard them cross just between this cobblestone and the wood up here just to mess with you.
Nothing there now.
This is why I like the moss arrows so much. Again, there's some water, and we're going to have to cross it before the mission gets to the serious part. It's a strange recurring motif in Thief. There's always a bit of water, always a stream or a sewer or something. Before things get real. This is another one of those levels where I don't want to talk too loudly. I feel like I should be whispering. A little change in the ambience there that lets you know something's going to happen. The musical cues in Thief are very subtle. There's a lot of just droning, but it's very well controlled.
So, these are Ramirez's boys. I think it's time I dealt with Mr. Ramirez once and for all.
So Ramirez is one of the city wardens, one of the crime bosses, who has tried to hire Garrett in the past, but Garrett's too independent for that. We'll see that the objectives have changed again. Now we have to loot Ramirez's mansion for 1,000 gold, but also break in and steal the purse right off his belt, just to show him a lesson.
Yorick tells me the Hammers are gonna close down Craig's Bluff.
Yeah, he's tapping you. Where are they gonna put the poor saps they grabbed?
Dunno. Toss them into a well or something. Anyhow, they just don't have enough guys no more.
Kinda sad.
Look, I only killed one of them.
Used to be the power. Now they're just a bunch of guys wishing for the old days.
So these banners with the big R on them, just like the B around Baffert's Manor, are very reminiscent of that level, and like that level, there's a building. We've got multiple ways of getting in. You can just go in through the front door, although that involves getting past a bunch of well-armed guards, or we can go around either side and try to find another entrance.
Is that you?
All quiet now. Must have been rats.
They always think it's rats. So we can see the guy ahead of us, but have to rely on our ears to notice there's someone up there. I just saw his bow stick out over the edge. So if we hug this wall, he shouldn't be able to see us. More rats. Ramirez's thugs are a little better than Baffert's drunks, but not much.
Guys, I gotta get home. The dinner is waiting. I'm starving and everything.
They're still a bit clueless. This is the first level where we'll need to use lockpicks. They're pretty simple. There's two lockpicks in your inventory, and you pick one and then click on a door with it, and if it doesn't work, or if it only works for a few seconds, you switch to the other. Red barrels are explosive, just like in every video game. I can make this jump. now that we know how to use lockpicks, there will be locked doors all over the place. And we're in. Ramirez's place is pretty lush. Yeah, I remembered that was there. But this oddly coloured bit of back wall, I think, is supposed to clue you in. It's supposed to let you know that it's worth investigating more closely. He even has a bathtub. Not the best time for a bath. There's an alarm on the wall, which means there'll be alarms elsewhere. I'll try not to set them off. Another locked door, but there was a key. It's the basement key. The key was inside that chest, I think. I'm pretty sure that's where I got it from. I didn't pick anybody's pocket, right? Down to the basement, where we should find Ramirez. Although maybe a little bit of looting up here first. I do need to find 1,000 gold before I can leave this level.
The boss thinks his nasties don't get enough affection. You'll be down there rubbing their tummies. I'll quit first. See if I don't.
That lets us know their boss is downstairs. Uh-oh. Hopefully they don't notice the door being open and unlocked. Nope. It feels much bigger than Baffert's Manor. Ramirez is supposed to be richer. One of the notes lying around Baffert's Manor actually mentioned Ramirez as the guy Baffert pays protection money to. He's on a higher rung of the city's corruption. Good night. Garrett likes to think of himself as a good guy, so these, the city wardens and their thugs are supposed to be the lesser class of criminals Garrett looks down on. We'll see more of that in a later level. Garrett's a bit of a snob, really. a rare bit of music that isn't just an ambient drone, letting us know that things are getting serious.
Maybe I should send some muscle after the stone group.
Well, there's Ramirez
Covered from the fund.
in his counting house.
Need to get Joff's leg broken. Can't define me like that.
And there's his purse.
It may be.
There's an abrupt ending. Again, playing this on normal difficulty does that to you. If you play on expert, you have to get out of Ramirez's manor with your loot, and if you set off the alarm, then there's a whole bonus section to the mission where you have to escape back through the streets, sort of like a high-speed rehash of the opening of the level, which is really neat, but I'm playing on normal to make it a little bit quicker so that you don't have to watch me play for 45 minutes with a whole bunch of restarts.